Micah McFadden, a couple days before the first preseason game, I guess. How does the body feeling, and how do you feel the defensive unit looks so far 10 days into training camp?
Yeah, feeling good. Body's holding up well throughout camp. Defense is looking good. I'm excited with the pieces we've added, the guys who have come back, and just the leadership, the guys who are stepping up and stepping into that role. But yeah, I think we're getting there. Obviously, camp is that time to figure things out and progress. But yeah, we're on the way for sure.
We were talking about year 2 and learning Shane Bowen's defense. How comfortable do you guys feel so far?
Feel pretty comfortable. Obviously year one's a lot different than year two, and to be able to have the same guy coming back and to build on top of what we did last year, to correct, improve, make the changes. I think we're doing that, and it's exciting.
You talk about some of the guys that are coming back. A lot of the guys that have come back and kind of went through that 3-13 season have all said that they've had conversations with the new guys, the Javon Hollands, the Paulson, the Debos, the rookies, the Abdul Carter. What's those conversations been like to the new guys, and what's that buy-in been like to you guys not only already having a culture but also establishing a new culture in a new season?
Yeah, I mean, it's always different when you add new pieces and bringing guys in from other teams. They have their own style of play, their own methods of leadership. Whether it's by action, by vocal, it's different from player to player. But I think we've added some great pieces. As far as the back end, Javon and Paulson and the other guys we've added. Their vocal leadership, how they act on the field, how they communicate. It's definitely been heard. It's been noticed. It's good to have people like that back there, and I think it spreads. It culminates throughout the defense. And then obviously with the rookie Abdul, I mean, he's a great player, great asset that we have on our team, and I'm excited to see him progress and play these preseason games and see how he builds himself up before the season.
A lot of guys have been talking about that new pass rush, the new, I guess, defensive line in general. Having guys like Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence in front of you, like, how does that make your job, I guess, easier? And then what's a realistic expectation when it comes to those guys, those pass rushers and Dexter in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, expectations are high. When you have those type of players up there, obviously, everybody knows the type of money those guys make, but just the type of players they are and the way they come to practice, the way they carry themselves, the way they work. I think that resounds throughout. And, they're leaders in their own room, but obviously on the defense as well. And to have, a guy like Burns, who's been in the league for, 6-7 years now, and, bringing Abdul on, and Kayvon, who's, my year, and bringing him on as well. And then, obviously Dex, just the type of player he is. He's dominant, but it definitely makes my job a lot easier. It's, when I can fill a gap and an offensive line doesn't have to worry about me because he's worrying about, those guys up front, it's a difference for sure.
We got ourselves a nice little classic camp battle for the CB2 position. Cor'dale Flott and Tay Banks kind of going after it. When do you guys know as a defense who that starter is?
It's different every year, and I know Flott's working through some things right now, but a lot of times those things don't get settled until right before the first week. And there's sometimes it's earlier, sometimes it's later, but when it's a close battle and guys are working and pushing each other to get better, obviously it raises both their level of play, but at the end of the day there can only be one. And I'm excited to see just the competition that it brings out of both of them, and it'll be interesting to see where that ends up.
Last but not least, where do you plan to take your game this level? What are the expectations Micah McFadden is putting on Micah McFadden?
Yeah, I mean, I think each year it's just try and perfect all the things that I lacked in this part of my game, or I didn't, this was a leadership role that I didn't step into, or I could have done better at. I think holistically there's a lot of things that I can work, but I'm just trying to be, play to the standard and play above the standard if I can. I think we have a great defense like we've been talking about, and obviously I'm excited to be a part of it, but I want to raise everybody's level of play around me and obviously my own.
All right. Good luck on Saturday, man.
Appreciate it.